live.
Can you go ahead?
Yes.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar on new K2 system for director amendments. I am Simon Fenyan from the Corporate Education Unit and will be the facilitator for today's program. CIPC has implemented an identity verification and multi-factor authentication for director amendments as a register of companies and a regulator of such. The CIPC has to exercise stringent controls and authentication processes to mitigate the risk of unauthorized director amendments and remove vulnerabilities that enable corruption and corporate crime. The CIPC encourages customers to ensure their contact details are up to date before filing a director amendment to ensure a smooth and a secure process. Today's webinar will consist of a demo of the K2 functionality for director amendments, and it will be followed with questions and an answer session. We will respond to questions related to today's topic, which are posted under comments. For questions that are not related to the topic, please log an inquiry on the CIPC website inquiry system. In the studio today, we have Mr. Vianen Kotla, the Senior Manager for Director Members and Practitioners. His unit is responsible for processing director amendments and he will respond to your questions. Further, we have Mr. Tebogo Masakale from our ICT unit who will do the demonstration. The recording of this webinar will remain on Facebook and YouTube. Should you wish to view it again, it will be available. I now hand over to Tebogo Masakale to do the demo. Thank you very much. Over to you, Tebogo.
Good morning. Please let me know when you can see my screen. Just give me a second. All right, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen, colleagues?
Yes. Yes.
All right. I will be doing a number of transactions in order to assist you to understand how to use the system better. Director amendments, you have the ability to access it from our e-services application. So the best way to do that is to go onto the CIPC website. You would click on login and then move to e-services. You would then click on customer login. So in this instance, I'm going to be using our test environment. You would log in. Accept terms and conditions. You would navigate to transact. You would then navigate to more services. You would then move to director amendments. You would accept the terms and conditions and continue. The first page that you would see is the history page. This is an indication of all the applications that we have previously completed. Please be aware that at times, if you don't have any transactions that you have done on the new system, you might see a validation message at the bottom of the screen. Please ignore that validation message and click on the continue button. You would see all the associated companies that are linked to your customer code. So at this stage, you have the ability to either select an enterprise by clicking on the file button, or you can click on the search criteria. On the search criteria, you can either use the long or short standard. So what I mean by that is that this would be the short format. And if you'll be using the long format, you can use the code that has the slashes.
Tebogo, you are requested to be at least more audible. I think you are too soft.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So you can then click on the search button. After clicking on the search button, the enterprise will be displayed at the bottom of the screen. You can click on the file. The first page will be the enterprise page, and you will have a question at the top which asks you if you will be appointing a non-South African or updating the passport of a foreigner. If you will be doing that, please ensure that the passport has been assured through the foreigner assurance process. So
Okay,
if you will be,
sorry,
yes.
Tebogo. There is a person that says there is no screen from his side, but the sound is good. Can the technical guys try to assist the person, because we can all see the screen from our side? Just how to see the screen. Thanks.
All right. So in this instance, you could click yes if you will be appointing a non-South African. Sorry, I lost, just give me a second. I lost my VPN connection. Hold on, colleagues. Okay, I'm sharing again. Please let me know when you can see.
Not yet. It's coming.
Can you see?
Yes, you can see. And
All right.
please try to have all scenarios on your demo, meaning that there must be passports, there must be correction of name so that we address all scenarios. Thanks.
All right. In that case, just give me a sec. Okay, my VPN is back sharing. Please let me know if you can see. Can you see?
Yes.
All right, I'm going back to that application on director amendments. All right, this is where we were. So if you will be appointing a foreigner, please click on the yes at the top. And this process will ensure that your passport holders are verified. If you click on verify, you will see that there's a notification that the passport is verified, and therefore you will be able to appoint or update the passport utilizing this number. In another instance, if you put in a number that is not verified, if you click on verify, you'll see a message that says this person is not verified. Please click here to go to the foreigner assurance process. Please do not start the application until the foreigner assurance application has been approved. Okay, so to go to foreigner assurance, you will click on the here button, or you can access foreigner assurance by going to business maintenance and clicking on foreigner assurance. You will be able to follow the steps of the foreign assurance process. So I will not go into those. You will go back to the enterprise. All right. So yes, we will be appointing a non-South African. You can then put in the enterprise number if it is empty, if you want to update it. If the email address of the enterprise is incorrect, please also update it. You can then click on the continue button. You will be presented with the active directors of the enterprise. So what I will do is I hope that DHA is up. I will do a scenario of updating the surname of this person. So this person got married and they need to update their surname. There's a possibility that they could have gone to Home Affairs and decided that they want to change their first names as well. So as long as Home Affairs has the latest record of the names, we will pull through that information. You will click on the edit little hand under the edit column. Click on status change. Navigate up. You will then see there's a section that talks about foreign assurance. Please, you don't need to utilize that section when doing a surname or name update. What you will do at this stage is to click DHA full name update. If DHA is up, it will pull the surname of this person. So we could see that the new surname is as indicated here. If DHA is offline, at the bottom of the screen, you will see a validation message that will tell you that DHA is offline, and therefore you will not be able to proceed with the name update. Please then try again later, or if you need to perform other transactions, please do a no change on this transaction. However, if you need to do things like address changes, you can also do that on this transaction. However, the name will not be updated until DHA is online. You will need to perform another application. So the important step as well is under status, you need to select active. If this person is active, you can also perform other status changes if you wish. So we're keeping this person as active. You can update other information. In most instances, the demographics will be blank. Please update that. You cannot continue without updating them. You can then update the address. Please also do not continue without updating the address. All right. So if there are no failures or validation errors on the record, you will be presented with the record that you have updated, either a status change or a no change at the bottom section of the screen. It is a requirement that you edit and validate all directors. So you will not be able to proceed until you have green ticks on all the directors. So this is the next director. What we may want to do on this director is perhaps resign this director. So I will do a status change on this director. You will be presented with a message that this director is a passport holder. So you will be presented with a message that the passport has not been verified. However, if you will not be updating the passport of this person at the moment, we have not put a hard stop, so the system will not impede you from continuing with the transaction. In the future, we will put a hard stop, but it's not there yet. Hard stop meaning you will not be able to continue until that passport has been verified through the foreign assurance process. So in this instance, I will be resigning this director. You can ignore the section at the top under citizenship. You can put the status date of when the director resigned. and update all the other information which may be incorrect. And save the record. If it doesn't save, please look at the validation message. So the director was appointed after that first date that I'd selected. Okay, after it is successful, there are no other validation issues. You will see the director listed. This is the next director. So the scenario in this transaction is I will be updating the passport number of this person. So I will click on that little hand. You will do a status change. You will see that the passport has not been verified. You will then need to answer this question. Are you using a South African ID book? The answer is no. You will need to put in the passport number, the new passport number of this individual, which has gone through the foreigner assurance process, and it must be in status approved. If it is not, you will not be able to update this passport. So I will update the passport. You will need to also put in the correct expiration date of the passport. And that expiration date colleagues, can you see my screen clearly? Is it big enough? Colleagues?
Tebogo, if you are able to increase, you can increase because it might be subjective because we know this how it works. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Is it better?
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
fine.
All right. Thank you. So if you put in an incorrect, please mute. If you put in an incorrect expiration date, you will receive an error message. You will then please make sure that, please mute. I can hear some background feedback. Please mute, colleagues. Thank you. Please ensure that the status is active. I can't believe this. All right, it has logged me out. Let me try this again. Apologies, colleagues. My VPN seems to be problematic. Continue and stop where I left off. Please, I'm going to go through quickly through it. All right. So here I'm updating the passport of the individual. Click on save. And then the last scenario that I may want to do is to do a no change on this director. So if you will not be updating any information on a director, you can do a no change. You will then click on the save button. Your application would be complete in relation to active directors. We can now move to the next page. On the next page, the opportunity is that you can appoint a director. So I will click on new director. Will you be appointing a passport, appointing or updating using a passport? In this instance, yes, I will be appointing a foreigner. I will click on yes. I would then select the information. You will put in the passport number. You would then need to put in the passport expiration date, ensuring that the passport expiration date matches what is on foreign assurance. Please give me a second. Okay, 10 March 2024. All right. Let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see, but please, your voice again, it goes down. Try raise your voice so that people can hear. Thanks.
All right. So expiration date 10 March 2024. I'm going to click on verify. It will extract the information from foreigner assurance. You would then update the information. Put in the demographics. Address. You then select the director type. I'll make them a director and the appointment date. You click on save. You can then do another appointment. You can appoint a South African. You'll click on no. You would put in the ID number. Click on verify. So if DHA is down, you will not be able to appoint a South African. So it looks like DHA is down at the moment. So I will click on cancel. But essentially, you follow the same steps as appointing a non-South African. So I'll click on continue. You do not need to attach documents if you are not doing a deceased, a removal, or a time expiration change. So you can continue. Please verify that your information is correct in terms of what you are performing. We'll be doing a resignation, updating the details of active directors, a no change. We will also be appointing a non-South African. Please click on the confirm button. You will get a summary of the changes that you are performing. And please, at the bottom of this screen, click on the OK button. All right, so that's your application. It will go through the OTP process. If type says OTP, please note that the transaction will be concluded automatically after the OTPs have been verified. However, this will only be applicable if you are appointing or resigning a director or changing the information of an active director. If you will be performing a removal, a deceased, or a term expiration, your application type will be back office. So that is an indication that our back office will need to process that application. If in the same application you also have appointments and resignations, you will first need to do OTPs for the filer, the person being appointed and resigned, before that application is inserted into the queue for the back office. So at this stage, we will be processing the OTPs. The active directors that, or the filer, as well as the directors being appointed or resigned, will receive an email from the CIPC. Let me check that. So here's an email. It will contain an email with the proposed changes. So if you look at the bottom of that email, all directors will receive this email. All active directors will receive it. However, the OTPs will only be applicable to the filer, the director being appointed, and the director being resigned. So in this document, all directors will be able to see the changes that are being proposed. We have an active director, we have a no change, we have an appointment, a resignation, and an active director where the address is being updated. So we will then click on the link to access the OTP screen. You'll have to go through that. This is just in our test environment. So if you open that link, you will see the directors that are being resigned, appointed, and the filer. So I'm going to put in the OTPs, but I think at this stage, I'm going to capture all the OTPs first. So please give me a moment. The OTPs. Okay, I have the OTPs. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right. So we're going to start with the first director. Please click on the X. It doesn't matter which order you do this. And it can also be done at any time. So you don't have to first get all the OTPs before you can navigate to the link and capture the OTPs. So each director can do it individually, and they can do it at any time. So you'll click on the X. You need to put in the ID or passport number of the person. Then click on the agree to the terms and click on submit. When there's a green tick, it means the OTPs have been verified, and any other person can then move on to the next OTP. I will move to the next one. So this is the director being appointed. Agree to the terms, click on submit. We'll move to the filer. Agree to the terms and submit. And we have a new amendment type, which is in our test environment. We'll be rolling this out soon. So for any changes that are made to the active director will also get the OTP. So at this stage, active is not in our live system. Click on agree and click on submit. The last person that does the OTP, please click on the finish button to conclude the transaction. If you don't click the finish button, the conclusion of this transaction will be delayed. So it may only be processed at a later stage. So by clicking on the finish button, you are officially finalizing the transaction. Any person that has the link on this list will be able to click on the finish button. So if the last person did not finish the finish button, did not click on the finish button, any of the other people on the list can open the link and click on the finish button. We'll click on the finish button. All right, in our test, we have this, but you will not see this validation message. If we go back to our application, you will be able to see that the application has been completed. You can then await your Core 39 certificate. So it may take up to 3 hours to get that certificate. So I will not wait for it. We can move to the next topic. I think the other topic which is quite important is the update of contact details. So the director that is an active director, they need to have a profile with the CIPC, and they will need to update their contact details on that company before a transaction can be concluded, which requires essentially a resignation. So if the contact details are out of date, the director that is resigning will not get the OTPs. So it will be important for the director that is resigning to update their contact details. In order to do so, the director would need to obviously have a customer profile. If they do not have a customer profile, they would first need to create a customer profile. They can then log on to the system. Sorry. Let me refresh this. After logging in, navigate to Transact. More services. Under maintenance, please navigate to change contact details. You will then be presented with your enterprises. If your enterprise is not listed, please search for it on the right-hand side. You can then click on File. You will only be able to see the profile or the director that is linked to your customer code ID number. So please click on your own record. If you navigate to another record, you will not be able to open it. So for example, I'm moving to the second record. I won't be able to see it. So I'll navigate to the first record. All right, so my profile, still the contact details, the ID is different of the customer that is logged in versus the one on the list. I would have updated this at some stage. So I'm going to be using another profile. Transact, more services, contact details, for that enterprise. I will navigate to my record. So this ID number matches the ID number on the customer profile, meaning it matches the ID number of the customer code that is logged in. Navigate down to contact details. You can then change the cell phone number and email address. These are the only details that you can update. You would then click on save. You would then click on, it will be listed at the bottom section. You'll then click on continue. You will get a notification and click on OK to finalize. The contact details would now be updated for this specific director. So you can now file a Core 39, and when you file it, it will be utilizing the updated contact details. All right, so Vuyani, is there any other scenario I should go through?
No, Tebogo, I think the members are interested in the questions that they have raised. And I want you to take, I think, critical questions is the issue of OTPs. Just brief us in terms of, after our investigation, in terms of OTPs, people not getting it, what did the service provider say about some of the reasons not people getting the OTPs? And also, please attend to the issue of the email link. People are not getting the email link. What will be the reason, and how then are you supposed to then circumvent that so that you are able to put in the OTPs? The others, I think they're business related. We will respond to those. Thanks.
Okay, so in terms of OTPs, there are instances where we are utilizing Vodacom. So there are instances where we don't get a success from Vodacom. We've implemented a ability to be able to see the success or non-success thereof. So if you are not getting the SMS OTPs, please just call our call center after you have tried the resend function. So on your application, if you go onto the OTP screen, you will be able to see a resend function. There's a resend button on the OTP screen. So before you click on the X next to the person that you want to capture the OTPs for, there is a resend button. Please utilize that first. And if you are still not successful, please log a ticket with our call center and we will investigate that further.
Can you take the email link?
Second, Van?
Can you respond to the email link? They don't receive the link so that they are able to put the OTPs. Can you respond to that?
Yeah, so we've also done a improvement on the system. So you will be able to see the link on the OTP. Let me see. So if you go to, let me see. Just give me a second. Let me check it here. So if you navigate to the OTP email, we have now added the link on that email. So if you don't get the proposed changes email, the link will also be on your OTP email. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tebogo. I'm not sure whether, Tebogo, you want to talk to what Vodacom said in terms of some of the people, according to the service providers, they did not want to get SMSs. Can you please talk to that? Because that's what we're investigating, and give them the responses that we got from Vodacom. Thanks.
All right. So there are instances where a customer would have registered their cell phone number on WASPA. That is an association that deals with wireless communication, essentially internet service providers. So if you have opted out to receiving bulk email notifications, you will not receive an OTP from the Cipc, meaning Vodacom will first check on the WASPA database to see if your cell phone number is listed for opting out to bulk email services. And if it finds your number in there, it will not deliver the SMS to you. So please also ensure that you navigate to the website or the link where you opted out from receiving bulk email SMSs. And please just make sure that your cell phone number is removed from that database. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tebogo. Yeah. So I just want now to go through the questions that have been raised on the chat so that we are able to respond to. But before I can do that, probably it is critical that I mention the importance of Cipc to do this verification process. And it is something that we have to do it. It's one of the FATF requirements, unfortunately. We've been doing it for local directors because though you don't see it, it's instantaneous. We're doing it with Home Affairs and other related law enforcement agencies that we do. It's system driven. However, for foreigners, then we have this process. And this process of foreigner verification, I have noted the need for a webinar. However, this does not fall within the ambit of the director amendments. It is a different business unit, and I'll communicate with the relevant senior manager concerned to request that they have a webinar so that they take people through the foreigner verification. The information that we require for companies, when you start, there is an information that is required there. That information is important because that is the information that we communicate in terms of annual returns, notifications. It's done via emails. Even when we send out the deregistration list, as we are deregistering now over 500,000 entities, it's done via the emails. They are sent in the emails, via emails, as well as we send the SMSs as well. So the information is critical. How do you enter the cell phone of a foreign director? You do not put a plus. You put the number as is without a plus for the number to go through. There were certain things that they were part of the system. For an example, the system says there must be a plus, but we saw that it's not going through with the plus, but without the plus, it's going through. So that's how you put it. The individuals that need to validate. There's somebody?
Vuyani?
Yes?
Can I talk to the OTP? I mean the cell phone number. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So we have this example. Let me do this. So if you are in Zimbabwe, for example, let's check what is Zimbabwe country code. Plus 263. So if you are in Zimbabwe, your number will probably be something like this in Zimbabwe, 082444154. So if you are in Zimbabwe and you want to dial a person, you will dial it using this format. So when you type the number of the director, please make sure that you type it in this format. You will put the 263, which is the country code. You will then not put the 0. You will just put 82444123. So do not put the 0. Please put it in this format. And there are instances where some people type a number like this. Please do not type the number like that. It will fail. Please type the number in this format. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Yeah. So also there was I think also this one came out a number of times. So you will all appreciate that CIPC in the past, when people were coming to our offices, there were even boards that CIPC does not have agents. And so there are no CIPC practitioners. CIPC does not have practitioners. CIPC has customers, and everyone that interacts with CIPC is a customer. Now, this system came as a result of SARS approaching CIPC. Some of the things, but most of them, they are informed by FATF. So SARS came to CIPC, and SARS complained about the amount of money that they were defrauded of. And that was as a result of the modus operandi was that at first they would go and change the contact details so that the person would not get a notification when there is a resignation or a removal of a director. And when they've changed the contact details, and then after that, then they will change the person. And then after they have changed the person, they will go to SARS and make a person who is not part of the company um, the person now that is going to work with SARS, and then go and change the banking details. And that syndicate proved to have defrauded millions from SARS. And this was as a result of that. So no other person that can update the contact details of the director except the director. And if the director is comfortable to give any third party his credentials to do it for them on their behalf, so be it. It's not for us. But CIPC will not allow a different person's profile to do the director amendments. So we check whether the profile is in sync with the details of the director. If it is in sync, then we allow. So that is the reason. And we need to understand that we are working with other government institutions, and when these issues are raised, we have to attend to them. The second part is that the issue of OTPs, again, it is something that has been raised by our courts to say that people always go and complain. They waste a lot of money opening cases because of there was a resignation without their knowledge. And now we need to make it a point that people that are resigning, they are able to participate in their resignation. So that is why you find people are getting the OTPs to confirm their resignation. So not everyone is getting an OTP. It is only those that are affected by the change that will get an OTP. There was a question that says why there are so many errors in company status. this thing started from February 2023. We'll appreciate the specifics in terms of this. It has nothing to do with the new system. We just need to follow up and attend, and it's not part of the presentation. The other one was asking, why can't we all talk? Only presenters can talk. So in terms of this system, unfortunately, that we are having, only allows a certain number of people to be sort of inside the boardroom. So only those that are in the boardroom are able to talk. And if you want to talk to us, you can then schedule an MS Teams so that we can be able to talk to one another. So feel free to do that. You can invite me on my email address, then we can do that, and then we talk. There was another one that was saying his name was misspelled. So you can go to your system, you say change, you're going to do the status change, and then you correct, and then you'll be able to do it. Again, if you want to be taken through, as I've said, MS Teams will assist if you do not know how to go through. Having said that, we do have the step-by-step guides as well on our website so that they assist the clients. And I've seen some people, they're saying what my colleague was doing, it's not an issue. The issue is the fact of OTPs. And I must say, by now we have over 12,000 OTPs that have been submitted. I've just checked now, over 12,000 OTPs that have been submitted in 1 month. And then deleting an application before 96 hours. Now, this one, we are discussing it with the audit committee because of we cannot just delete things within the system, but we do understand that people, they make mistakes, and so we want to know how do we deal with this. So as soon as we get the proper response, we'll be able then to assist for those that are making mistakes. How do they then get rid of that application and be able to start from scratch without having to wait for 96 hours because it takes long. Again, this is a balancing act. We wanted this thing to be 12 hours, and people that helped with testing, they said, 12 hours is too short. We have people in different time zones. It was 48, it was not accepted. Now we took to 96. So we try need to balance that. So that is why it takes 96 hours. A person says, I'm a director, but my companies are not linked to my profile. Why is that? We are going to investigate why some of the companies are not linked to the ID numbers. However, at this stage, what is critical for us is that you must be able to transact. So if the companies don't appear under your profile, you can search the enterprise and then you can be able to see it. This will look into, but for now, you are able then to retrieve the company by using the registration number. Does not matter what format you are using, whether you put the M or the K, and then you put the number, or you put the number with slashes and 07 or 08 at the end. It allows you. And then there's one that says you cannot assure an expired passport for.
Colleagues, can you hear Vianney?
No, we've lost him.
We've lost him.
Okay.
VN, please unmute. Tebogo, it looks like we've lost Vuyani.
Yeah. Okay. So are there specific questions? Maybe Rosani or Elma, you can give me the questions and I will answer.
I think Thomas and the team are available, to assist if there are
Hello,
any.
can you hear me now?
Oh,
Yes,
we can
yes,
hear
yes,
you now.
Vian, thank you. You may
Right.
go ahead.
Okay. So I was on the delete. Did you hear that part?
Now, I think start from that part.
Yes, we had the delete.
Okay. So
Okay.
on the delete, I said we can't delete now, and we have escalated this matter based on the request that we have received, and we are discussing with the audit committee to see what would be then the risk associated with delete when we are being audited. And as soon as the matter has been dealt with, we will be able to come with the response. But for now, we don't delete, we have to wait for 96 hours. And I said, we know the 96 hours, it's long, but it was a balancing act because there were some people that says 12 hours, 24 hours, and 48 hours are short because of different time zones. So hence we have 96 hours. Now, there was another one where a person was asking about a company not linked to his or her profile. And we said we will investigate why companies are not reflecting under the profiles of some of the directors. However, at this present moment, you are able to retrieve the company when you use the company registration number. So you can search the enterprise as Deboho showed us, and then the system will retrieve it and you'll be able to proceed. So we will investigate that one, but for now, we have given the members of the public to be able to proceed, even if the company does not appear under your profile. Another one said you cannot assure an expired passport for a foreigner. Again, if this is for foreigner verification, remember I said we will communicate with the business unit for foreigner verification, and I think they will address all foreigner verification related matters. And then some people, they were saying, let's allow third parties like SARS. Remember, we are working on different pieces of legislation. And but having said that, it does not mean we don't allow third parties. We allow third parties to log in, and most of the filers are third parties. However, we are not giving the OTPs to the filers. We are giving the OTPs to the numbers of the people that are affected, so that we address the issues that were raised by the courts of laws of this country, and also we address the issues that were raised by SARS. Because when we're doing this system, it was as a result of SARS coming to CIPC and raising their concerns that they were having based on this syndicate of claiming VAT with SARS. And then the other one was saying there's no selection to update director details. I think now you have seen when they were doing a change of contact details, it's not part of director amendments. It is just below it. You choose there. As I've said, it is the director that is affected by the change that will do it. If that director decided to give to the third party to do them on their behalf, it is not for CIPC. They can discuss amongst themselves and do that. I have been struggling to get my companies listed for amendments if it does not show on the screen. Okay, as we have said, if it does not show on the screen, just search it, you'll be able to see it. Directors not receiving the OTPs, details are correct. Yes, we are investigating why the OTPs are not going. But as Teboho have said, they are retriggering the OTPs. They are monitoring the OTPs that are going out, and those that are not going out, they are retriggering them. Date of birth and appointment are grayed out. Yes, they are grayed out because date of birth is taken from Home Affairs from the ID number. So you don't have to type it. And the appointment, remember, the director was appointed. So that will be grayed out if there are no changes. And when we talk about changes, we are not talking about the appointment date. The changes that we're talking about are the changes now that will be done subsequent to that. So that one is grayed out for a purpose. And then another one was asking if this can be paperless like Biz Portal. Yes, it is paperless because people are using OTPs. We only require paper when there is a removal of a director. Because when there is a removal, then there are certain procedures that needs to be followed in terms of the Companies Act, which we'll talk to them later. But if it is just a normal appointment and resignation, it is paperless. There's no paper that is required. And then the other one was saying we are treated as criminals assisting our clients. It is so unfortunate that this is how you feel. However, you would know that a bag of potatoes is spoiled by one. Because of the controls that are being put in place, it is because of the criminal elements that have been identified and the use of Cipc as well as SARS to defraud some of the institutions. So it's so unfortunate, but it was not an intention. The file are not receiving the OTP. I think that one we have addressed. As I've said, most issues are OTPs. And then directors unreachable. So this is what happens, because we need also to understand that the company, the companies that are registered, they are informed by the Companies Act. So people are appointed by the company. And when people are appointed by the company, people will then accept work from the company and work for the company as directors. When people leave the company, meaning that directors, they leave the company, then it means that the company will not be directed because the directors have left the company. And if the directors have left the company, then it means that the director who was appointed now can be found to have been derelict of his duties. And that is one of the reasons for removal. So you cannot resign on behalf of another person. Resignation is unilateral. You can't say, I resign this person because I can't find him. It is the person that must take a decision to resign from an enterprise. But if a person is not doing his part, then there must be a removal process. And that removal process is informed by Section 71. And now the question would be, where will we find this person? Now you must then send a notice to the last known address, because when a person is being appointed in terms of the Companies Act, you must have the information of the person that is being appointed. And amongst those, it's the address of the person that is being appointed. Now, one said here that shareholders are not allowed to remove. No, that is not the case. The Companies Act allow for shareholders to remove. The Companies Act allow for directors to remove. Further, if the minimum number of directors is not met for the removal, the Companies Act allow that the matter be taken to the Companies Tribunal. So we still follow the Companies Act. However, there was a case in the Cape Town High Court where the judge said when it comes to a notice for removal, the Companies Act did not specifically state when it comes to shareholders that they must write a reason for removal. However, the judge said, in reading the provisions that deals with the person that is to be removed must come and present why he should not be removed, then it follows that that person must know why he should be removed so that he can prepare accordingly. Then that case law was taken, and then a notice was sent to say that henceforth, even when the decision is taken by shareholders to remove, there must be a notice for removal. Secondly, because of CIPC, for now, does not have the information of shareholders. But we know that the beneficial ownership and FATF, they require that this information must be available. So for now, we don't have that information. We only have information of directors. Then we must be provided with the proof that people that took the decision to remove the director were indeed shareholders. So in this instance, we'll want the what? The shareholder register, or we'll want the share certificate, which are certified to prove that these are shareholders. So when it comes to removal, then there is no OTP, because it is obvious that a person that is to be removed will not submit an OTP. So it comes to the back office for the back office to check compliance. The only person that files for an OTP is the filer. The filer confirms that I'm the one who submitted these documents, so that when there is a process thereafter, we should be able to follow it through. And then when I click here, this one, it's not, when a person says I click here, we can't see now where is here, but feel free to send me an email and then we can take this one further. The issue of a cell phone and email address, both are required. So you must have both the email and the cell phone number, because the OTP can only be successful when both of them are captured. Then change the status. If, for example, you want a person has moved overseas, now you want to change the address. So it's the same process, but now in that director, you say change status, and then the director status you put as active, and then you go to the address and update it to the new address, whether it's a UK address, and you'll be able to do this. All this information is available on our step-by-step guides that are on the website. And I think the step-by-step guide that is missing is the one for director change of contact details. And before the end of this week, it will be also uploaded on our website. Those were the questions that we had. I'll then hand over to Prasai.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ngotla. I don't know if we should type in your email address on the screen as you requested the customers, if they want to set up, an invite so that they can send it to you.
It's not a problem, Prasai.
Okay, thank you very much. Rosanne, please just help me to type it in. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Tebogo. Thank you very much, Mr. Ngotla. And then we have now come to the end of the webinar. And then we thank you. We thank CIPC team, and then our technical team as well. And then we would like to thank all our customers. And then we hope you found today's webinar of value, and then that it will assist you. Thank you very much for joining our webinar, and then good day. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
Cheers.